Hello and welcome to today's video. We're going to cover my LCS 2023 All-Pro teams. Keep in mind, this is my opinion. Stats will be part of my opinion, but I also use the fact that I watched all the games as the other, addition to this whole deal. If you believe or you want to know what the All-Pro teams would look like stat-wise, that will be on the Discord under the extra content tab, as well as the Discord All-Pro teams, which is determined by the MVP voting that occurs after each game. There's a thread on the Discord. If you vote on that, you will be choosing to have your voice heard. If you don't, then you chose not to have your voice heard, and your voice is muted now as a result of that. So, if you'd like to join the Discord and vote in the future, go right ahead. So we're going to start with top lane first. Third team is Summit. Honest to God, in my opinion, top lane was pretty bad this year. Well, this split. I thought Summit was going to do a lot better. He didn't. Frankly, I was really underwhelmed by a lot of players. I think Dokla is very hit or miss as well. Tenacity was hit or miss, more miss than hit. I think Someday is consistent, but I mean, I don't know. I made Summit third. I think Summit, when some of TL's wins were pretty much all because of Summit. So with that in mind, I'm going to make him third team. I'm sure some people are going to say, oh, wow, this is a big deal. He's third team. He shouldn't be there. And I'm going to just be like, really? We're really that worried about the third team? I mean, I understand like first and second team, but third team, like, I'm not going to die on the hill. Second is Impact. Impact, I think, does a very good job for what he's supposed to do. On FlyQuest, just kind of fill out the composition. We saw even yesterday, which does not factor into this. These teams were picked. I picked these teams out at the end of the split. I'm just finally getting to record it now. I have not altered it based on last night's Fly 100 Thieves series. So Impact is second. I think Impact does a good job. Continues to be one of the better top laners in the LCS. And then first team is Fudge. I thought Fudge was the only top laner that actually really popped off the majority of the time. A couple of those K'Sante games early on in the split were disgusting. A Fiora game sticks out to me that was very good. Fudge, more often than not, does a lot of work in the top lane for C9. A lot of it goes through him, especially when Diplex was in the lineup and Diplex was playing more control mage and facilitator-oriented champions, in my opinion. Jungle, I would say Jungle and AD Carry were the two roles that had the most contention for me. There are a lot of decent players in both roles. So in the jungle, I put River as third team. I think River is outstanding. Was able to get the team to 9-9. I think he's a very, very good player. I've been singing his praises for a while, and to see him do well alongside a better mid laner is no shock to me. Second team is Blabber. I think Blabber deserves a lot of credit. Some people may have River above Blabber, and I can see the argument, but you also have to keep in mind, Blabber had to split time. I am recording, yes I am. Ooh, that would have been a little late for that. Blabber had to split time between two mid laners. He had to learn how to play a totally different style on the spot. Now, I guess not learn, but get used to and get comfortable with Eminez, who is very different than Diplex. And Blabber has done some really great things. So I have Blabber as my second jungler. I think he did very well. And then first team is Spica. And Spica showcased it last night with that flank on Wukong. But he also has a Sejuani flank that really sticks out to me. And a few other really nice plays throughout the split, in addition to, pulling out the Amumu when nobody else in the world's playing Amumu, in the 4 major regions at least. So, he really did some crazy things in the jungle for FlyQuest and was able to juggle all those really good players. Between mid lane and Vikla, and then obviously Prince and bot lane. And also have to try and get on the same page with two different supports. The jungler and the support do have to kind of have the same idea when it comes to vision and things like that. And I think Spica's done a great job. Spica. can't speak today. Third team, mid laner is, I think this is definitely up for debate, but I'm going to put Palafox down. So, and I'm going to say this, the reason why I'm not going to have a C9 mid is because it's one played 10 games, one played 9 games. Am I really going to put one or the other in here? No. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So Palafox is third. CLG, under the radar, continue to do very well. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't even want a CLG player in these all-pro teams, but really, they're 10-8. Once again, another split in a row with a winning record with the same 5 players, and you can't take them for granted. Like tonight against C9, I could see them being competitive. They just beat C9 last weekend. So Palafox, very good player. He's done some good things for CLG. Second team is Vikla. Vikla, in the last part of the split, struggled. And of course, people are going to, kind of get blinded by what happened recently and forget how well he did at the beginning in the middle part of the split. But Vikla's done a great job. I think that coming over to America, at first you could tell in his interviews he was a bit uncomfortable. And that's to say it lightly. And a young man, he's only 19 years old, only been playing at the highest level for a year. I think that he's done a great job. And we saw last night him continue to perform well and recover from those couple bad weeks. And I think over the entire thing, he was the second team. First team is Gory. I think we could see just how important Gory was to Golden Guardians from a record standpoint. You see how poorly Golden Guardians looked at first with Young, and it's nothing wrong with Young. Young was kind of thrust into a position he had no business being in. That's not his fault. And Gory comes in there, and immediately things start getting better. You see Golden Guardians start to improve, and then they go on that long winning streak, 7 or 8 games if I recall. And Gory had a lot to do with that, working with River, and then they had a freed up stick saying Hoo-Hee. So Gory doing a fabulous job. I remember LS specifically before the split. I'm pretty sure he said that he believed Gory was going to be the best mid laner in the LCS. And when he did his power rankings. And I think he's the only one who said that. So give him his credit. As far as bot lane's concerned, third team is Double Lift. I think everything, we saw it last night, again, everything for 100 Thieves goes through Double Lift. It's like 5 years ago with the 100 Thieves. In terms of, it's like it's 5 years ago, but the jerseys are switched and he's on 100 Thieves. Like, everything goes through DL. If they win, it's because of DL. If they lose, DL still puts up a good KDA more often than not, puts up a ton of damage, they lose. We saw it last night. He did well. I don't think he's the reason they lost by any means. And honestly, it's pretty incredible coming back after retirement at 30 years old, pretty much, and is performing at this level. I think not a lot of people expected that. I know I didn't expect 100. I mean, we had 100 Thieves in like that 5 to 6 range, and that's still possible is where they end up. But I don't think we thought Double Lift was going to be as important as he was to their success. Thought Tenacity would be a little better, and Bjerg maybe do a little bit more, but Bjerg seems to be a bit washed as well. Second is Prince. If these teams were determined after the first round robin, Prince is probably MVP and first team. But the second round robin, he really struggled at times. We saw them starting to drop games. I don't think with Isla, it's not been the same as it was with Winsome. And I wonder if maybe Isla's Korean isn't, if Isla's Korean isn't as good as Winsome's, which is very possible because Winsome grew up in Korea, that could be a reason why they're having issues in bot lane, a little bit of communication issues. I could see it. And we could see Prince kind of drop off a bit and play as a result. Also, you got to keep in mind, meta shifts. Also very important because Prince, very good in summer, split in the LCK, one of the best 80 carries in the world. And now things are starting to change, and can he adjust is pretty important. Bot lane, first team is Berserker. I think Berserker's been absolutely outstanding. He continues to progress and get better. He's an exceptional player. We saw him beat Prince twice this past weekend. Just really, really talented. A lot goes through him. The future's bright in the LCS. If they can hang on to Prince, which I wouldn't be shocked if Prince plays out his career in the LCS. It wouldn't shock me at all, given his affinity for DL, and that means he's been watching the LCS for a while. I could see him staying. And then you got Berserker, and you have other players. Do we have other players? FBI. Stixay's old. Maybe there aren't many other players. Well, Unforgiven could be freed from Mad Lions, I guess, right? I mean, not Mad Lions, from 100 Thieves. Then he replaces him. Maybe there's a nucleus there. If you watch my prospect video, there weren't a lot of NA 80 carries to talk about. So we'll have to continue to import, I guess. As far as this is concerned, actually, before we get to support, I want to do it between mid and bot because no one really cares about supports. Damn it. Shucks. Okay, so all rookie team. Tenacity is the only top laner, so he wins by default. There is no jungler, so we don't have a jungler. We didn't have a rookie jungler. Mid lane, there are 3 different players. We're going to go with Eminez over Diplex and Harry. I think that he's been better than Diplex was, despite being a very different player. 80 carry, there's only Tomo, so Tomo gets it by default. And then at support, we have Fleshy. I'm going to go with Fleshy. Now, people are going to think to themselves, maybe, how can Eminez be a rookie? He's like 22 years old. I don't know if there's an age requirement on it. The way I determined who's a rookie and who's not is if they have played more than half of the games for a team in a major region within one split. So if you're a former NA player, it would take you to play, you'd have to play 9 games for you to lose rookie status, in my opinion, if your team played 18. If it's 19 and you played 9, you wouldn't lose it. So Tenacity, Eminez, Tomo, and Fleshy, all 4 players are not playing major regions more than half a split. So they are rookies of the split. I think Fleshy looked a lot better than Isla and Busio. Given the fact that Fleshy was on Immortals and what he did, I think he deserves a lot more credit than people give him. Honest to God. Which I think is going to shock a lot of people, but because Busio, I expected more out of him. And maybe that's why he is where he is, because I expect him to be better and he's, not really lived up to it. Coach of the split, I shouldn't have done year, I should have done split, is Spooks from Golden Guardians. To get Golden Guardians to 9-9 is pretty impressive. They're in the playoffs at 7-game winning streak. I think Think Hard is also a player that coach should be mentioned, taking CLG to a 10-8 record. As far as others are concerned, maybe Freeze with EG deserves some credit. It is his first time, I think, as head coach in a major region. As far as others, I would not pick Song. Song is, honestly, FlyQuest should be better than 14-4. Mithy with C9. C9 or 14-4, good for them. I don't think it's as impressive as what CLG and GG are doing. 100 Thieves fired their coach. EG, like I said, with Freeze. So that's kind of the way I thought about it. And Spooks ends up being coach of the split because of that. And now, support. We're going to go with Core JJ. I think Core, it's hard to really thrive on a team that's dog. But Core did pretty well, given the circumstances. And honestly, if I'm choosing between, him or Huhi or Flashy or not Isla. I think I'm forgetting somebody. Either way, Core is my 3rd team support. I'm sure people can nitpick that. I don't. It's whatever. 2nd team is going to be... It's going to be Vulcan. Just 1 second. Like I was saying, Vulcan, second team. I feel like the support position, I wasn't overly impressed. Similar to top lane, the support position didn't overly impress me this time around. That phone call's thrown me completely off. I'm going to end up speed running this because that was an important phone call that I believe I missed. First team, Sven. I think Sven's done a great job. Obviously, this meta benefited him, being able to play 80 carries for so long. You know, that helped him. But not only that, he also looked good on other champions, and he did his job. Helping keep Berserker alive, doing work. You know, like I said, support wasn't overly impressive to me this split. Now, as in terms of like MVP, I have a tough time choosing. I think I said this last time, but if someone's new to the channel, you look at MVP in different ways. One, it is most valuable player to the team, as in, is this player the most valuable player in the league to their specific team? That there is a case to be made, that's what MVP should be. MVP should be the best player in the league. Or MVP should be the best player in the league on a team that made the playoffs. Those are the three ways to look at MVP. I tend to look at it the first way. Who is the most important player to their specific team in a region? Is this player make or break? Is this player doing everything? And in my opinion, that player is going to be the old man Doublelift. If you look at 100 Thieves this past split, Tenacity didn't do much. Closer did something sometimes, but not very much. Bjergsen, not very much. Busio, not very much. A lot of their success will live and die by Doublelift. And some people are going to say, well, it's only on Zeri, it's only on this. It is what it is. He's getting banned out. I mean, he's getting banned out. He's picking champions that he works, and he's doing work with them. And sometimes 100 Thieves looked awful. They had a really bad stretch at one point, right? That I'm not taking away. Gory is also up for debate. Like I said, Golden Guardians, completely different team with him in the lineup. In my opinion, it's between Doublelift and Gory. I don't think a FlyQuest member should be it. I don't think a C9 player should be it. I really don't. With that in mind, that is my All-Pro team. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And thank you for watching.